Hey, so this is going to be a quick rundown on the new trinkets, the new PvP trinkets in 9.2. So let's get cracking. So the first thing I want to talk about is this Fastidious Resolve. Most people I've seen are really worried about this trinket. I will show that this trinket is pretty good, but I think like it's mainly going to be used on humans and maybe on DPS. Possibly not on healers. It's kind of a bit risky, and the reason it's a bit risky is it shares it shares with the PvP trinket. So this is like a new relentless. You know how there's relentless adaptation and PvP trinket, and these are unique. So this trinket is unique with those trinkets, and so you can't use both of them. And this one is a 3-minute cooldown. So this trinket allows you to pop it and you become immune to the next 3 spell interruption and crowd control effects, but it only persists for 30 seconds. Okay, so um, so you pop it, you get these giant things around you, but I don't believe that you can use this while stunned. So you're risking being swapped to or CC'd by using this trinket after the buffs fall off because you don't have a PvP trinket. Um, yeah, so maybe it's like a little niche thing. Maybe it's better in twos. You can human though, which is why I wanted to show this on a human. So you can pop it and you can still human. So maybe you can like reduce the risk that you'll get smashed by that. The other thing is you can still wear your Sephirs and wear this, so you could make those stuns shorter if you're wearing a Sephirs, or follow up CCs shorter if you're wearing a Sephirs. So a lot of people are kind of scared that people are going to pop this and run in and use all their cooldowns, but I'm not 100% convinced. The other thing is it makes you more likely to be switched to with a resonator, which is the next trinket I'm going to talk about. So the resonator trinket, it's basically like a spite trinket. I think it's a worse spite trinket. It seems to didn't show that. It seems to have a shorter range. I think maybe than the other one. Maybe it has the same range. I don't know. Feels like a shorter range to me. Maybe it's just because when it drops, it looks sort of yellowy and you can't sort of tell. It's a little bit hard to tell. I think it'll be really hard to tell on some of the arena maps if you've hit it or not. Anyway, throw the cosmic resonator explodes after 4 seconds, so you basically stun someone and use this on them. But the damage is split between all nearby targets. One way you could counter this is say this is the target and it's got all its friends around it. You just go 1, 2, 3 with your team and you knock them, and your teammates hit an instant CC on the other guys and switch to the target, and then you will throw your resonator on them and blow them up. So this is a very satisfying trinket in a way. I think it could be like really fun to use this trinket. 2-minute cooldown seems pretty long because it's going to have the counter of stacking. It's also going to have another counter, and that counter is the Aegis trinket. This new trinket, you can pop it, and cosmic damage is fully absorbed with this, and resonator damage is cosmic damage. So you just pop this and you take no resonator damage. So I feel like, and they share the same cooldown. So every go you can just counter with this. I'm not sure I like this. I think it would be cool if this was like a 1 minute like spite. Personally, I would like that. This trinket, I think, has some really great potential. So, activating the defenses, absorbing 50% of all magic damage taken up to a certain cap, persisting for 30 seconds. So, one of the reasons I think this is like really good is I think this might work on spear, and I don't know if it's going to count holy damage as magical damage, but if it does, this would like really fuck rats, which would be great. It has a pretty cool animation. You know, I mean, there's not really much more to say about this trinket, really. It's just a magic absorb. People may forget that some of the cleaves do have quite a bit of magic damage. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe just using the old BM and just trading cooldowns is still going to be the way to do it. I don't know. Maybe as a human you could use this and DPS trinket and rely on your PvP trinket against a cleave. And this might be a better alternative to the BM trinket. I don't know. The thing is, if you're going to play a cleave that may be using the resonators as well, you could counter the resonators with this and maybe some magic damage as well. So you might be a little more reliable living as a human. Like I said, I think human's going to be potentially very powerful next patch with these trinkets. Okay, the last trinket, this one here. Yeah, so this one here is a very weird trinket. It increases your incoming crowd control taken, but procs a spell interruption immunity and a crowd control effect immunity. So I was thinking about this trinket. This trinket might be good on mages, because my thinking is they can blink. They could potentially play blink and blink out. No. You'd have to give up shimmer to do that, but it does make you immune to interruption and crowd control effects. I'm not sure though. I mean, you could honestly just, if you're a human mage, you could honestly just put on this one. You could put on this one and then use it, and then you can suffer no issues, and then you could human a stun. And then you could block CC if you're not the target, though you could get swapped to, you know. And then you could put on your DPS trinket. I don't actually have a badge, but yeah, I'm not so sure on this one actually. See, it's got one effect. So when I saw some people making videos on this, they were talking about it like, oh, you're unCCable for 30 seconds. No, mate, you're unCCable for the next interruption and crowd control effect. One for the next interruption and crowd control effect. So maybe like you count them as two, and maybe it's like two effects, like one interrupt and one crowd control. Maybe it doesn't start its internal cooldown until you've used both of them. So maybe the trinket's just absolute dog shit. Anyway, I think I've given you a pretty good rundown here on the trinkets, and I don't think they're as overpowered as people are talking about. Maybe this one is. I could possibly see a scenario where like you could be like human DPS and use this one, and that would be very powerful. I imagine like I could see Rogue Mage using this a lot, like actually as human. Like, could you imagine just like running in, popping this on your goes, getting the sheep with this? Being the rogue, you can use this, and I don't know if this will affect disarms, but maybe you can immuno disarm with this. Stormbolt, Fear, like you can immune all those stupid peels warriors have, you know, and just block them all on your go, on your kill go or whatever. And then you could wear like your DPS trinket and then fall back on human. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential. I think maybe human should be put on cooldown with this. It could be really OP. Anyway, I hope this video was useful. Cheers.